Commencement controversy. President Obama wades into the battle over abortion rights in a much-anticipated speech at Notre Dame.
Understand, class of 2009, I do not suggest that the debate surrounding abortion can or should go away.
While on campus and off, hundreds protest his appearance. Drug wars meet the newest weapons in the fight against heroin. Bank battles, how one local bank is taking on the big guys one billboard at a time. And ladies first.
Rachel Alexandra has defeated the Kentucky Derby winner.
The filly who proved she could beat all the boys.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good evening. President Obama today stepped squarely into the middle of what may be this country's deepest cultural, religious, and political divide, abortion. Speaking this afternoon at the University of Notre Dame commencement, he not only acknowledged the controversy and protests his appearance had generated, but he challenged Americans on both sides of the abortion debate to change the tone and to work to reduce the demand for abortions. It is not an issue that lends itself to compromise, and the president certainly has not backed off his support of abortion rights. But can he find a way to bridge the divide? We have two reports tonight from the Notre Dame campus in South Bend, Indiana. We begin with NBC's John Yang with more on the president's message. John, good evening.
Good evening, Lester. President Obama took on this issue boldly and directly in a speech that was at times very much a personal statement.
Thank you.
President Obama bluntly acknowledged that the two sides in the battle over abortion will always be at odds.
And I do not suggest that the debate surrounding abortion can or should go away. Because no matter how much we may want to fudge it, the fact is that at some level the views of the two camps are irreconcilable.
He said the discussion could be passionate, but shouldn't be contentious.
Open hearts, open minds, fair-minded words. It's a way of life that has always been the Notre Dame tradition.
Keeping with his call to end the culture war around abortion, he sought common ground.
So let us work together to reduce the number of women seeking abortions. Let's reduce unintended pregnancies. Let's make adoption more available.
The president also addressed the Catholic Church's other major disagreement with his policies.
Those who speak out against stem cell research may be rooted in an admirable conviction about the sacredness of life, but so are the parents of a child with juvenile diabetes who are convinced that their son's or daughter's hardships might be relieved.
Despite the controversy, the conferral of the president's honorary degree was greeted by enthusiastic, sustained cheers. There were brief, isolated interruptions that were quickly shouted down by students.
We're fine, everybody. We're not going to shy away from things that are uncomfortable sometimes.
Protests from graduating seniors were largely of the silent variety. Beyond abortion and stem cell research, Mr. Obama urged the graduates to service, making the point by talking about his own experience as a community organizer, an experience he said shaped his personal faith.
Perhaps because I witnessed all of the good works their faith inspired them to perform, I found myself drawn not just to the work with the church, I was drawn to be in the church. It was through this service that I was brought to Christ.
Mr. Obama has also been reviewing possible Supreme Court nominees this weekend, another issue that could turn up the temperature on the abortion debate. Lester?
John, thanks. The president's call for a more respectful disagreement over abortion was not heard outside on the Notre Dame campus, where nearly 36 demonstrators were arrested today, mostly for trespassing. NBC's Ron Allen is also in South Bend tonight. Ron, good evening to you.
Good evening to you, Lester. Along with the demonstrators out here, a number of Notre Dame faculty and students also spoke out against the Obama visit today, a graduation day filled with passion and prayer. President Obama apparently had a chance to see the demonstrations for himself as Air Force One landed. If he could have heard what was going on, the president would have gotten an earful.
It is a murder. It is a murder without courage. It is a murder without conscience.
Demonstrators on both sides of the issue squared off in front of Notre Dame's main gate. The majority clearly critics of the president and the university for inviting him.
He promotes abortion. He promotes embryonic stem cell experimentation.
They were led by activists like Norma McCorvey, the plaintiff in the landmark Roe v. Wade case, who now opposes abortion. A few dozen people were arrested without incident. On campus, the Notre Dame community made a loud statement. Faculty who opposed the president's visit took center stage at a rally with hundreds of supporters who the university allowed to gather on the main campus green.
If, as we have been told, a dialogue is actually taking place over there, that dialogue must be shaped by truth and charity and protecting the sanctity of all human life as the church understands life must be its goal.
At the most sacred place on campus, the Grotto, a group of students led a prayer vigil, praying, they said, for classmates who attended the main graduation event. John Bales admitted it was a tough decision. His 4-month-old son, Jack, was a big factor drawing him here.
Yeah, having a kid of my own, just, it just really rings true as far as, I believe strongly that, this is life and it needs to be protected.
However, these students singing their school song here were a tiny but passionate minority, while most of the class of 2009 enjoyed commencement in the traditional way and welcomed President Obama.
I thought he did a great job of kind of inspiring us to all work together and really bringing us back to the spirit of Notre Dame that I know and love.
This evening, the final event. Some activists are holding a ceremony to honor the students who did not attend their official graduation exercises. Lester?
Ron Allen in South Bend, Indiana for us tonight. Ron, thank you. High-tech tools gave way to low-tech brute force during today's Hubble repair spacewalk after spending hours trying to remove one screw that held a handle to the telescope. NASA gave the go-ahead to just pull it loose. That did the trick, and the crew then moved on to the successful repair of a device that allows Hubble to detect phenomena like black holes. Let's turn to the economy now, and a suggestion today by the White House Budget Director Peter Orszag that we may have just about reached the bottom of the recession.
We have not hit bottom yet. Well, I think what's happened is the free fall in the economy seems to have stopped, and I guess the analogy is there are some glimmers of sun shining through the trees, but we're not out of the woods yet. We do have more work ahead.
Here to weigh in on that and what to watch this week on Wall Street, we're joined here in New York by CNBC's Maria Bartiromo. Maria, we have seen an uptick recently in consumer confidence. Now Peter Orszag talking about the end of the free fall. Do the numbers back up that sense of optimism?
In some areas, Lester, we have seen some pretty good improvements in housing because rates are so low that we're seeing a bit of a refinancing boom. So that's certainly a positive. We're also seeing some strength and sort of improvement in sentiment because of the stock market. Remember, the stock market is up about 30%. Just since early March. So in just a 2-month period, we're seeing the stock market trade better, and that does something to sentiment, which is positive. But, it's not inconceivable that we will be bouncing along the bottom for a little while. Just because the pace of decline has slowed a fair amount doesn't mean that we are out of the woods. So we still have retail sales, which is very slow. We still have unemployment expected to worsen. So we're still in the middle of this, Lester.
What should we be paying attention to this week?
We've got a handful of things that are important to watch on the earnings front. Hewlett-Packard and Home Depot are both reporting earnings. This will be important because it gives us that window into retail/housing with Home Depot, and certainly technology is always a growth area of our economy. We want to see what's happening in terms of managers spending money on IT. That's going to be certainly what we get out of the Hewlett-Packard quarterly numbers. And we have more information on construction and housing starts on Tuesday morning. We have a special coming up on Monday on CNBC called The Meeting of the Minds, where we have people like Jack Welch, as well as the head of Citigroup, Vikram Pandit, sitting around a table talking about where we are. And they, too, believe that the pace of decline has slowed, but we are very much still in this. But it is very nice to see that we are a long way from where we were just 6 or 8 months ago in terms of sentiment and in terms of housing. But we need to see more improvement on the unemployment side of things.
Maria Bartiromo. Maria, thanks very much. Overseas now, in northern Pakistan, officials say fierce fighting has led to the deaths of some 1,000 Taliban militants. According to Pakistan's military, the 2-week offensive around the Swat Valley has nearly eliminated Taliban control there. Officials say the operation will continue until the Taliban are flushed out and may expand to other al-Qaeda strongholds. In Afghanistan, U.S. commanders have a new tactic to fight the lucrative opium trade. They're replacing poppy fields with produce crops. NBC's Jim Maseda reports from the Helmand province in southern Afghanistan.
Afghan counter-narcotics police being trained by DEA agents for battle. In its 8th year, the war in Afghanistan has morphed into a drug war.
The bullet that is coming out from the AK-47 of insurgents, that bullet has been financed by drug traffickers,
who increasingly are not only working with the Taliban, but are one and the same.
There are narco-traffickers that are insurgents, and there are insurgents that are narco-traffickers, and then there's those that support.
And if they are, then you can go after them.
Right.
U.S. commanders say NATO's rules of engagement have been beefed up
to allow us to go after those targets which constitute nexus targets where the insurgency and the narcotics trade come together.
And it's beginning to pay off. In the past year, hundreds of tons of illegal drugs, like this dry morphine base, have been uncovered and destroyed. Several drug kingpins arrested and serving time. But Afghanistan remains the world's top opium producer.
Poppy is still in the non-secure areas, the place is Taliban active, the Al-Qaeda and terrorist activities over there.
Like Helmand province in the south, where poppy eradication has failed, and Taliban militants have killed at least 5 Afghan counter-narcotics police in recent weeks. So the U.S. government has shifted tactics to this, a pilot alternative crop farm, part of a new $250 million development plan.
I would rather help create, and we're going to do this, Jim, I would rather help create a strong pro-agriculture policy in this predominantly agricultural country.
Now, in Helmand, trainee Afghan farmers learn to grow cucumbers, grapes, and lettuce.
We'll continue to push farmers to diversify their investment in agriculture, to do vegetables, to do trees, to do vineyards.
And even raise chickens, unseen here for decades. This may look like a chicken farm, but for many U.S. officials, this is the end game for the war on drugs. Poultry laying eggs and eating tons of corn and wheat, effectively creating an alternative market to poppy. It's just a start. This may be a vision of what the future holds, but for now, the Taliban is entrenched. The fighting and dying will increase in a land where poppy still rules. Jim Maseda, NBC News, Helmand.
When Nightly News continues this Sunday, an inspiring invitation and a speech to match, we hear from the First Lady on campus. And later, a Phillies historic win at Pimlico.
Oh, bacon? Gotta get that bacon! Smoky bacon, crispy bacon, tasty bacon! Where is it? Where's the bacon?
Bacon popular. Story at 11.
Yummy, crunchy bacon! Bacon! There in that bag!
Who wants a bacon strip?
Me! I get it myself, but I don't have thumbs! It's bacon! I love you. I love bacon. I love you. I love bacon.
There's no time like bacon time. Now you can toss them, fling them, zing them. Have fun with new Bacon Canadian Cuts.
The Swiffer Duster Extender cleans so completely, you'll never go back to your old duster again.
Don't you want me? You know I don't believe you when you say that you don't need me.
Why go part of the way clean? Swiffer Duster Extender reaches up to 3 feet to go where others can't and traps and locks dust and allergens. Swiffer cleans better or your money back, guaranteed.
Well, are you going to pick it or not? It's not ready yet.
Every Smucker learns to wait for fruit to reach the peak of perfection to make extra delicious jam. With a name like Smucker's, it has to be good.
Honest ingredients, authentic recipes. That's how Marie Callender's makes new pasta al dente. Authentic Italian meals that steam to al dente perfection. Marie Callender's new pasta al dente. It's how Marie does Italian.
Bush's baked beans.
Jay, it's Grandpa Bush. Let Duke sell Bush's secret family recipe.
Nice try, Duke.
How'd you know it was me?
Grandpa didn't have a tail.
Oops.
Enjoy Bush's baked beans made with our secret family recipe.
I'm gonna do another one of my sleep studies. Advil PM or Tylenol PM. With Advil PM, she's spending less time lying awake with aches and pains and more time asleep. He should switch to Advil PM, the better night's sleep.
Burning, itching, but the pain's the worst. I should have used
Preparation H Cream. Burning, itching, plus maximum strength pain relief on contact. The most complete relief from Preparation H. Pain relief on contact.
While President Obama's appearance at Notre Dame today prompted some protests, his wife's commencement address on Saturday at a small California school got a different response. After all, Michelle Obama wasn't just invited to speak, she was courted. They accomplished a lot to become the first graduating class of California's newest university. But nothing quite as extraordinary as their parting act.
You now all can say, yes, we did. Michelle Obama.
Delivering the First Lady of the United States as their commencement speaker.
Class of 2009. All I can say is wow.
Against a backdrop of open farm fields, the First Lady has put this tiny rural campus of just 2,700 students on the map. She was here because of a student-led campaign of letters, emails, valentines, and even a video to the White House.
And then there's that beautiful video, the We Believe video. Well, let me tell you, it worked because I'm here.
Here indeed, meeting their charm offensive with some of her own signature charm.
And I'm telling you, next year's graduation speaker better watch out because Merced's students know how to get what they want.
On a visit to the campus this past week, some of the students who led the campaign talked to me about why Michelle. It came down to the notion of being first.
She is the first African-American First Lady, and she's married to the first African-American president. And we're a string of firsts. We're the first university of the 21st century. We're the inaugural class.
They put in long days and night brainstorming sessions to get her to come. But in the end, they decided it came down to co-opting the Obama's message of believing in big things.
I ask you, make your legacy a lasting one. Dream big. Think broadly about your life.
Students were overjoyed.
It was everything I could hope for and more.
She said everything that we needed to hear to go out into the real world.
It was mesmerizing.
Within the next 20 years, this school is expected to expand to an enrollment of 25,000. But for now, the 450-member class of 2009 reminds us that learning to think big is what higher education is really all about. A lesson Michelle Obama was only too happy to deliver.
I know a little something about the power of hope. My husband knows a little something about the power of hope. You are the hope of Merced and of this nation, and be the realization of our dreams and the hope for the next generation. We believe in you. Thank you so much.
Michelle Obama will deliver one more commencement speech this graduation season at Washington, D.C.'s Math and Science Technical High School. When Nightly News continues, signs of the times, how far some banks will go to get your money.
Italia. Much more.
Cheerios works naturally to help lower cholesterol,
let it help lower yours.
I don't always let my bladder problems or the worry my pipes might leak compromise what I like to do, like hunting for bargains, not always bathrooms. I take care with Vesicare.
Once daily Vesicare can help control your bladder muscle and is proven to reduce frequent sudden urges and leaks, day and night. If you have certain stomach or glaucoma problems or trouble emptying your bladder, do not take Vesicare. Tell your doctor right away if you have a serious allergic reaction, severe abdominal pain, or become constipated for 3 or more days. Vesicare may cause blurred vision, so take care while driving or doing unsafe tasks. Common side effects are dry mouth, constipation, and indigestion.
You deserve better than to always be compromised by urges and leaks. Ask your doctor today about taking care with Vesicare.
Brothers third on the outside. The Philly trying to hold on. She's clear by 3.
Keith challenges Dick Cheney. Did the former VP push waterboarding for political reasons? Countdown with Keith Olbermann, Monday only on MSNBC.
It's your right to choose who fixes your car. At Leif's, we're on your side.
Right now, bring into any Mattress World a discount card, a club card, or a military ID and receive an additional 10% off our already lowest prices. Choose from the largest selection of mattresses in the Northwest.
It's not too late to sleep like a baby. Mattress World.
The truckload sale continues. Get 3 rooms of carpet installed with pads starting at $599 or the whole house for just $12.99. Dial 503 Carpets.
Nika IBEW 48. Wiring a green tomorrow for the next 150 years.
You're looking and listening to the winner of the world's biggest song contest, a global competition that began long before American Idol. Alexander Rybak, a fiddler and singer from Norway, won the Eurovision Song Finals, which, listen to this, typically draws an audience of more than 100 million worldwide. The contest has helped launch the international careers of stars like Julio Iglesias and ABBA. This next story could be the classic case of David versus Goliath. In this case, it's a small bank taking on the big ones by putting this question to depositors. Should you trust your cash in big banks that took government bailout money or on one that chose to go it alone? Here's NBC's Janet Shamlian.
They line the Texas interstates, competing for drivers' attention for everything from speedy vehicles to fast food. But in and around Fort Worth, there's a new billboard battle targeting banks that took a bailout.
Why did you put these billboards up?
We didn't want to be associated with the larger banks that were taking the TARP money. And that's one way to disassociate ourselves with them.
Greg Morse is the CEO of Worthington National, a small Fort Worth bank that has, with ads like these, turned a traditionally polite rivalry into contentious competition. Crosstown competitor Plains Capital, which took $87 million in TARP money, telling a Fort Worth newspaper the campaign is a cheap shot. But for many customers, the billboards have struck a nerve.
It caught my eye because it said, "We don't take federal bailout money."
Retired police officer J.D. Starnes moved his money out of a bailout bank.
I feel like it's like welfare money, taking taxpayers' money, and that tells me that the bank did something they shouldn't have done or they wouldn't need billions of dollars.
With a decidedly local look, Worthington acknowledges it's tapping into public outrage over bigger banks that have taken the government funds.
What's the response been to these ads?
It's been tremendous. We've opened a record number of accounts.
How many?
I'd have to say over 100, probably over $8 to $10 million in deposits, which for our size bank is tremendous.
As for the campaign, Worthington offers no apologies, including for this billboard, strategically placed right next to the zoo. Janet Shamlian, NBC News, Fort Worth.
When Nightly News returns this Sunday, the filly that proved it's not a man's world at the track.
Emblematic of. I'm worried about my health and my budget. Taking multiple prescriptions stretches my dollar and leaves me with questions. Are there any less expensive generics? Is it okay to modify prescription doses myself? What if I don't refill some prescriptions at all? There's only one person I trust to ask. my medicine shop pharmacist.
You'll never think of dusting the same way again. Swiffer Dust and Shine. It cleans and conditions your wood for a beautiful shine with no wax buildup. It goes beyond wood to clean leather, even granite. No wonder more people prefer it over the leading furniture polish.
Ma'am, can I help you with anything?
And it even removes up to 90% more allergens than dry cloths. Swiffer Dust and Shine.
Honest ingredients, authentic recipes. That's how Marie Callender's makes new pasta al dente. Authentic Italian meals that steam to al dente perfection. Marie Callender's new pasta al dente. It's how Marie does Italian.
It's a revolution in pain relief.
The new Icy Hot Medicated Roll. Take what you need for shoulders, backs, joints, even arthritis. Medicated relief gets icy to dull pain, hot to relax it away. The new Icy Hot Medicated Roll.
With the roll, pain's under control.
If I know where the bathroom is, I can deal.
Time out. Going 3 times a night? I'm used to it. Time out. You're doing okay, but are you really going to put up with overactive bladder forever? That could be what you have. 1 in 6 people do. It's a real medical condition where involuntary bladder contractions cause frequent, strong urges to go. I just coped too, but then my doctor told me about treatment options, including prescriptions. Shouldn't you talk to yours and give the coping a timeout?
Tonight, the Black Widow spider takes her mate in a dance of death. Did she do the same?
He took care of everything. Her whole life was Alan.
Did she trap him in a spider's web? And has she done it before?
All that matters now is finding the truth.
A new Dateline tonight, 7, 6 Central on NBC.
The greatest minds in business explore the next chapter for the global economy. Maria Bartiromo hosts Meeting of the Minds, the Future of Capitalism, tomorrow on CNBC.
Nightly news at nightly.msnbc.com.
History has been made in the racing world, and not just by the jockey who we saw ride to victory in the Derby and then in Saturday's Preakness. For this is a horse's tale. Rachel Alexandra is the first filly to win the Preakness in 85 years. Here's NBC's George Lewis.
She's the newest superstar in sports. Rachel Alexandra being hailed today for her stunning performance in the Preakness.
For a filly to come out like that and to take on the boys and win was unbelievable.
Here's the winner! And the filly did it! Rachel Alexandra! Rachel Alexandra is only the 5th filly in 134 years to win the Preakness. The last time a filly came in first was 1924. And she ran only because her new owner decided to enter her at the last minute.
In the horse racing world, there's been this bias against fillies, a feeling that they're not quite up to running against the guys. That particular bit of equine male chauvinism was left in the dust at the Preakness.
And Rachel Alexandra's jockey, Calvin Burrell, showed that in the Triple Crown of racing, it does pay to switch horses in midstream. In the Kentucky Derby 2 weeks ago, he won aboard Mind That Bird, a 50-to-1 long shot.
Spectacular upset!
But yesterday, the Derby-winning colt couldn't catch up to Rachel Alexandra. Burrell becomes the first rider to win the Derby and the Preakness aboard 2 different horses. He says the filly has a special place in his heart.
Probably the best horse I've ever been on in my life. That's special.
Today at Hollywood Park in California, jockey Mike Smith, the runner-up to Burrell at the Preakness, said Rachel Alexandra is creating a lot of excitement in racing.
Everybody loves watching her run. She's a beautiful filly to watch, and of course she catches the eyes of all the girls, because she's a filly, beating the boys. So like I said, it's one up for the girls.
So now the next big question, will she race in the 3rd leg of the Triple Crown? Her owner and trainer say they'll see how she's doing in the next few days before they decide. George Lewis, NBC News, Los Angeles.
That's nightly news for this Sunday. Now here's Ann Curry with a look at what's coming up next on Dateline. Ann?
Thanks, Lester. You remember Slumdog Millionaire voted Best Film of the Year on Oscar night. It won international acclaim, and even as little as cast members went on to become overnight sensations. A rags to riches tale? Well, not exactly.
In this place, there is nothing good. There is filth. There are broken places, but I'm happy here.
Dateline travels to India for a dramatic real-life story with an ending that was not in the script. That's coming up on Dateline. Lester?
All right, Ann, thanks. That's Dateline at 7, 6 Central. Brian Williams will be here tomorrow. I'm Lester Holt reporting from New York for all of us at NBC.